Hi, and welcome to BremSter Puzzles, where I try and show you the fun that can be had exploring the variant Sudoku world. Now, this is Gold Arrows by Marty Sears, and this is a puzzle that's come very highly recommended. Marty Sears is an excellent puzzle constructor, so even though this is a constraint I've never seen before and probably will struggle with, I'm looking forward to seeing how this one goes. Got really nothing to call out apart from I have had a few new people reach out to me saying that they've found the channel recently and they like the way that I try and be welcoming to people who are new to the hobby, and that the puzzles I bring are good for them and the explanations, they're things that they can follow along with, and that they're very happy that they found me. So welcome to everyone who's new, and I'm glad that you found you're finding what I do fun. So excellent. Let's have a look at Gold Arrows by Marty Sears. So we've got normal Sudoku rules apply. In every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. And then the number on a gold arrow indicates the sum of the first X digits seen in the direction of the arrow, where X is the first digit seen. Now, it's interesting that we've got these in the grid, but normally if this was an X-sum clue, for example, whatever would go here would be the sum of the digits in this column, or sum of an X number of digits. So let's say this was, I don't know, it's weird. If this was a 9 and this was 3, then these 3 digits would have to sum to 9. If this was, say, this was 12, I need to do this the right way. I like the way he's made it that you can write the digits in here. If this was 12 and this was 3, then those 3 digits would have to sum to 12. But if this was a 4, then those 4 digits would have to sum to 12. But this works inside the grid as well here. None of the digits which form the sum may be consecutive. Holy cow. Okay, but this is also working inside the grid. So if this was a 4, if this was a 4 and this was a 9, actually, I can't, this is weird. If this was a 2 and this was a 9, then those 2 digits would sum to 9. Very weird. I'm going to have to explore this. None of the digits which form the sum may be consecutive. None of the digits which form the sum. So does this mean it's like a Nabner line where, none of the digits which form the sum may be consecutive? So for example, if this was a 3, then none of the digits in that set of 3 could be consecutive. So for example, I couldn't put a 2 or a 4 here because this would be the sum and 2 and 4 are consecutive with 3. Okay, interesting. A number on an arrow outside the grid may contain 1 or 2 digits. So these ones could be 1 or 2 digit numbers. Interesting. I'm going to restart the puzzle to restart my timer. There is a link to this puzzle in the description below. Let's give this a shot. Now, surely the constraint is on these, because the maximum this could sum to is 9, which means all of these have to be 1 or 2, don't they? No, they can't be 1. Don't all of these have to be 2s? But they can't all be 2s. How does this... A 3-digit sum because of the non-consecutive rule, the minimum 3-digit sum would be 3, 1, and 5, which would be 8. A 2-digit sum could be almost anything. And a 1-digit sum would just be a 1, but you can't put a 1 next to an internal arrow because it'd be 1, 1. And a 4-digit sum doesn't work. So anything next to an arrow like this must be 2 or 3. Anything next to an internal arrow has to be a 2 or a 3. Because you can't do a 4-digit sum. Just realized I don't have my water bottle. You can't do a 4-digit sum because a minimum 4-digit sum could be without even the consecutive thing. So they're all 2s and 3s. And a 2-digit sum could be anything. Well, I couldn't put 1 or 3 next to it, so it's from 6 or up. And a 3-digit sum has to be 8 or 9. So these are all 6, 7, 8, or 9. So Because a 2-digit sum, you can't do 2, 1, you can't do 2, 3. So the minimum is 2, 4. A 3-digit sum, the minimum is 1, 3, 5, which is 8. So these are 6, 7, 8, or 9. One of those has to be an 8 or a 9. Because one of these has to be a 3. One of these has to be an 8 or a 9. Well, this can't be a 3 because I can't include that in the sum. That's a 2. Because if I included this in the sum, that's not necessarily true. No, it does, because the minimum would be 3, 1, and 6, and 3, 1, and 6 is 10. This must be a 2. This is a 3. This is a 2. This is a 3-digit sum, so it can't be 6 or 7 because they can't be consecutive. There must be a 1 in here, because if there's no 1 in here, the minimum would be 3, 5, 7. So there must be a 1 in one of those 2 digits, and it's 1, 5, or 1, hang on, 3, 1, 5, or 3, 1... No, they have to be 1, 3, 5. That 1, 3, 5 is 9. So this has to be an... Oh, I can't make 8. 8 is 1, 3, 4. So a 3-digit sum can't have a 2 or a 4 on it. The minimum is 1, 3, 5, which is 9. So this is a 9. And whichever one of these is 3 is the 9. This can't be a 9, therefore this has to be the 2. So this is summing those 3 digits. Do I want to colour those? Maybe? This is a 2-digit sum. So this is 4, 5, or 6 to get to 6, 7, or 8. This is a 2-digit sum. So this is 4, 5, or 6 to get to 6, 7, or 8. Can this be one? Because the only way of doing 3 is 1, 3, 5. Could that be 1, 3, 5? Maybe. Because this could be a high digit, so I could sum a lot in there. This is a 3. So this is 1, 5, and this is the 9. This is not the 9. So this is a 2. And this is 4, 5, or 6. This is summing 3 digits, but this can be higher. If that's 9, this is 3, 1, 5. These are 6, 7, and 8. So this is a 2. So this is 4, 5, 6. I think this is correct. This feels correct. I'm tempted to draw lines. It's summing those, it's summing those. Actually, I don't think I need to. So what can I do with the clues outside the grid? Could this be 3 with 1, 5 here? This can't be 1. This is at least 4, 6, 7, or 8. Because it can't be 1, 2, 3, 5, or 9. So this is 4, 6, 7, 8. So it's summing at least those 4. But surely with this being able to be a 1 or a 2-digit number, they could just be anything? Because what are these actually doing for the puzzle? Because I can fill them with any digit. But none of the digits can be consecutive. None of the digits can be consecutive. So what this is saying is however long this clue is, none of the digits on it can be consecutive. So if this was an 8, I'd have an 8-digit long number where none of the digits could be consecutive. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17 would be the minimum. This can't be an 8 or a 7. I don't even think it can be a 6. Because 7, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 5 is the maximum. with 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. This is a 4. This is not a 4, so this is not a 6. These can't be, one of these is 5. And whichever one is 5 is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. And whichever one is 1 is just a 1. That's the trick. None of these can be higher than 5. So this is a 2. All of these, this can't be 1 because there's no way of making a line longer than 5 with no consecutive digits on it. If I put a 2 on a line, I can't put a 1 or a 3. So let's talk about that. In case people are wondering, if I do a 5-length line, and I'm using gold because of it, it's basically a Nabner line. If I put a 1 on the line, I can't use a 2, so I could jump to a 3. I can't use a 4, I jump to a 5. I can't use a 6, I jump to a 7. I can't use an 8, I jump to a 9. These are absolute minimums, and they cover 1 through 9. Now, the minute I put a 2 on a line, I can't use a 1 and a 3, so the minimum becomes 4. I can't use 5, the minimum becomes 6. I can't use 7, the minimum becomes 8. And I can't put another digit on the line. So anything with a 5 is 1 through 9, and anything other than that has to be 4 or lower. These have to be 1 through 5. This has to be a 4-digit line. And it's got a 2 on it. So this has to be 2, 4, I can't use. So in these digits, I can't use 1, I've already got 2, I can't use 3, I can't use 5. These are from 6, 7, 8, and 9. Well, there's no 9 there. This is at most 4. So it's 1, 3, 4, or 5. And these are 1, 3, 4, and 5. But here is where I think I'm going to have the biggest issue. Because one of these is all of the odd digits, which would put all of the even digits above it. Oh, this is fascinating. This is a 3-digit sum. Now, what can I put in here? I can't use 2 or 4, but I don't have 2 or 4. What digits must I put in here? 1 must be in here, 5 must be in here. But that works. This could just be 1, 3, 5. So the totals of these are meaningless. It's the length of the arrows and the non-consecutive rule. This can't be a 3 anymore because that can't be 1 or 5 because of this. If this was 1 or 5, it'd be consecutive with the 2 or the 4. So this is a 2, which means this could never have been 8 or 9. It's 2 plus 6 to get to 8, or 2 plus 7 to get to 9. And if I put a 7 in either of those, it would be consecutive with the other digit. If I put a 7 here, it'd be consecutive with the 6 or 8. If I put a 7 here, it'd be consecutive with the 6. This is a 6. This is an 8. That means there's no 8 here, which means there's no 6 here. These sum to, I can figure it out. This sums to 20. So I can literally go 20. This is neat. These are 1, 5, 6, and 7. I don't know what to do with that. But it is brilliant. I can't put 5 and 6 in here. Can I put 6 in here? Yeah, it'd be 6, 1. What about here? If this is a 4, it would include that 5. This can't be a 4. If this was a 5, it would include that 4. It can't be a 5. So this is only 1 or 3. If it's 3, it's 3, 5, and whatever that is. This is including this digit. It can't be 1, it can't be 2, it can't be 3 because 3 would be consecutive with 2. 4 can't be 5, 6, 7, can't be 8, 9. 4, 6, 7 or 9. I'm not sure that's helping me either. But, oh no, this could be a 7 or a 9 and this could be the run of odd digits. Because whichever one of these is a 5 is a run of odd digits. And I can't see how to use that. I think that's the trick. Oh, 4. This is 4 long. That can't be the 5. That's the 6. And this now isn't the run of odd digits. This is the 1. This is the 5. This is the run of odd digits. So this is 1, 3, 7, 9. These, there's no 7 here. These are 2, 4, 6, 8. There's no 2 in either of those. There's no 2 in any of those. That's a 2. This is 4, 6, 8 with 4 in one of those 2. So these are 1, 5, and 7. 6 and 8 means this is, hang on, this is restricted. 6 makes that 4, 8 makes that 6. There's no 5 there. There must be a 6 in one of those. 6, 4 or 8, 6. There's no 6 here, which means it can't be 6, 2, 4. There's no 4 there. That is now a 7, 8 pair, making that the 6, making that the 4. There's no 6 or 7 here. This is a 1 or a 5 only. The 6 actually takes the 6 out of all of those. And these are all odd. So there's no adjacency here at all. There is a 7 in those. The 6 looks up, making that the 5, which makes that the 7. This is a sum of 2 and 6, making that the 8. This can't be consecutive with any of those digits. 1 and 3 are both consecutive with 2, and 7 is consecutive with 6. That's the 9. Looking down, taking 9 out of all of those, which makes that the 7, taking 7 out of these. This is so cool. That's a 1, 3 pair, taking the 1 out of there. So this sum is just 1. This sum we know is all of the odd digits, which is 1, 9, 3, 25. So this is 25. This sum I don't know yet. This sum is 9. This sum is, I don't need to know the sums, but I'm doing it anyway, is 21. So 21. This sum is 9. Don't know about this one yet. Oh, this is so cool. So what is the triple in this column? 1, 3, 5. No. The 5 is looking down, making this the 1, taking 1 out of here. These are 3, 5, 7. So this is actually a 15. And the 7 in the row 8 makes that the 5 and that the 7. These sum to 8. So that's an 8. 3 would make that, with the 4 here, this can't be a 3. This is the 1, so this is a 1 clue, which makes this the 3 and this the 1. How do you come up with this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, and 9 go in. There's no 8 there. There's no 5 in either of those, so this is actually the 5. This is an 8, 9 pair, and the 9 is looking down, making that the 8 and that the 9. These are 4 and 6. And the 4 is looking across, making that the 6 and that the 4. So this column is missing a single digit because that's a 1, 5. I can use the 5 to make that the 1 and that the 5, taking 1 out of both of those. But this column, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, is missing a 7. So these two digits are 3 and 8, and the 8 is looking across, making that the 3 and that the 8. This column, 3, 4, and the 3 is making that the 4 and that the 3. Took me a while to understand what this puzzle was doing. It's like, what are those arrows for? It's because of the Renbang. It's Nabner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 9 go in. The 5 is looking up, making that the 9, which makes this. Of course, I was expecting it to jump from here to here, but of course there's these extra cells in the grid. Nice design, by the way. These are 1, 5, and 7. There's no 5 in the top, so this is the 5. And the 7 is looking at making that the 1 and that the 7. So this is a triple. 4, 6, 8. So these are 1, 3, 9. There's no 9 there, 3 there, or 1 there. This is still not resolved. There's no 1 or 5 there anymore. This is 3 or 4. There's no 4 there. So this is a 3 or a 4-digit number. Can you do a 4-digit number? Yes, because I've done one here. But does a 4-digit number have to be all of the evens? Because once you do a 4, you remove 3 and 5. No, it could be so 1, 4, 6, 8, or even 1, 4, 6, 9. But I think you'd have to include the 6. Oh no, 1, 4, 7, 9, 2, 4, 7, 9. No, there's options. If this is a 5, these are all of the odd digits. And these would be 6 and 8. Seems to work. So there's more Sudoku to do. What's this triple? 1, 3, 7. There's no 1 there. And these, 4, 6, 9. There's no 4 there. Okay. What have I missed? What can that be? Ah, no, it's where's 8 in row 1. Can't put 8 in any of these. Can't put 8 in any of those, and the 8 is looking up. This is an 8, which is 2 plus 6. It takes 8 out of those, and it takes 6 out of those. But this is now 1, 3, 4, or 5, and it's not 5. So this is a 1, 3, 4. This is the 5. These are all of the odd digits. So this is the 9, and these are 1, 3, 7. These are 6 and 8, and the 8 makes that the 6 and that the 8. There's no 9 in either of those. What are these pairs? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3 and 9. So 2 and 7. Okay, so it is going to be this arrow now. We know that this is another 25 because that's the sum of all of the odd digits. This is either 3 or 4. If it's 4, there is options. If this is a 4, this is a 6. Is there something that's forced into here? 8 is forced into here by Sudoku. 8 is in one of those two. So I can't put 9 in here. If I put 9, because this is a 3 or a 4 and 8 is in here, there will always be, these 3 digits are always included in this. And because 8 is in here, I can't put 9. 9 is in one of those two. So this is the 3, this is the 9. The 3 looks up saying neither of these are 3. So what? 1 and 9 are not available for that run. So how would I, if I did 4, it would have to be 2, 4, 6, 8. And that doesn't work. No, this could be 3, 7. It does work. This could be 2, 4, 6, 8. These would be 4, 6, 2, 8. So 2 and 8. This is 3. I've got even more freedom. Arg. What am I missing? Is there an arrow I haven't done? These are all different. Of course they're all different. They're in the same column. What am I talking about? I'm getting lost in the weeds again. Oh, this 5 makes this the 7, which makes this the 5, which says this isn't the 7. It's got to be this, doesn't it? How? There's no 3 here because of this. Oh, the 157 made, and the fact that that's a 9, this is a 3. There's no 3 here. This is a 3, which looks like making this a 4, which means this is a 1, this is a 3. It was just Sudoku. This is the 9, this is the 1, this is the 7, this is the 1, this is the 7. The 7 looks down, making this the 2 and this the 7. This now can't be a 4 because of the column. This is the 6, this is the 4. These are just the 2, 8, which is fine. It was just Sudoku. I didn't even need to do the figuring out. These are 6 and 9, not 8, 9, 6 and 9. The 9 makes that the 6 and that the 9. The 6 looks back making that the 4 and that the 6. The 4 looks back making that the 8 and that the 4. And the 8 looks back making that the 2 and that the 8. And that is the correct solution. What a puzzle. What a glorious puzzle. And all it took was actually sitting there and figuring out what those arrows meant. I kind of would be more of a fan if the rules had stated none of the digits which form the sum may be consecutive regardless of their position in the sum, like is done with the Nabner lines, because there's this thing about consecutiveness. A lot of rules are stated like consecutive digits, meaning digits that share a border. So when people are using the word consecutive, it often causes confusion. So I imagine, like I'm saying this right at the end, I imagine there's going to be questions about the rules not making sense on this puzzle. I think if you don't know Nabner and don't actually translate that rule to be Nabner, this is probably going to result in comments. But once I realized, hang on, I think this is Nabner and solved with that. If you didn't make that leap, because non-consecutive normally just means adjacent digits. So if you just turned around and said, well, no 2 adjacent digits can be consecutive on the line, which is kind of a valid way of reading this. It's not what it says, but yeah, I don't know. I think it would have been nice if they'd been clearer. Because with Nabner, most of the people I'm seeing post Nabner now are using the regardless of their position on the line, because Nabners are normally done with lines, in order to clarify that, because there's always questions. But apart from that, this puzzle was great. Loved it. Thanks everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed this one. If you did get stuck, hopefully my rules clarification while I was figuring it out helped. And as always, good luck with your solving.